Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om, I bow to the Lord Vasudeva. Joy to you, friends. We're reading from the first chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, and I've been discussing the battle between the good side and the bad side. Not the battle itself, but the forces ranged against each other and the definition of those forces and their purpose. And then Arjuna says, alas, actuated by mere avarice to possess a kingdom, we are gathered here ready to kill our own kinsmen. Parenthesis, those tendencies in ourselves, which, though harmful to our very peace of mind and inner happiness, are for all that members of our own family of consciousness. Arjuna continues, this act surely will involve us in great sin. I'm reminded of that song in Oklahoma where this girl is saying, I'm just a girl who can't say no. What you going to do when somebody starts acting flirty? Spit in his eye? This is the way reason works. It tries to bring a ridiculous thing. We'll be sinning if we kill our bad side. This is the mind comes up with the most fantastic arguments to keep you bound to delusion and bound to living in the wrong way. Well, I can't get rid of my own greed. After all, it's I who am greedy. It's my nature to be greedy. And if I were to destroy my nature, I would be less myself. I would be less conscious. I wouldn't be wholly me. These are the rationales that people play with and offer up to others to live in the wrong way. And you find this everywhere. People who drink but don't smoke, they say, well, it's true I drink, but at least I don't smoke. And people who smoke say, well, yes, I smoke a little bit every now and then, but at least I don't drink. And so they will always somehow try to find a buttress to defend their own delusions. And if they get too angry with other people, well, after all, I'm trying to help them, trying to show them that they're wrong, or whatever other reason or argument they come up with, because the arguments are just legion. You can't stop them. When you hear people gossiping unkindly about something, you find them always sort of as if trying to make you think that they're happy, but they're saying that because they know inside that they're not. And every one of these rationales inside it, the soul is just quietly watching and saying, okay, let's see. See when you change. Do you really believe what you're saying? Well, they'll shout the louder to howl down that rationale inside themselves that tells them they're not doing the right thing because they don't want to change themselves. It's too much trouble. It's too difficult. They'll blame everybody else. Anytime you find in yourself a tendency to blame others, look at yourself and see, why are you blaming them? You wouldn't even be blaming them if you didn't have a germ of that problem within yourself. We must overcome the tendency to find fault with others, because whatever we see in others, we have in ourselves, we can be sure. Yes, a wise man will see those faults, but he won't be disturbed by them. It's the fact that others get your goat that shows there's a goat there to be gotten. Is when people are unkind, that's when they get upset by other people being unkind. If you're really compassionate, if you're really kind, you'll see that, well, people are that way. People will persecute you. Yes, of course they will. People out of jealousy will do lots of things against you, but don't let it get your peace of mind. It's their problem, not yours. How many people, when you try to do good, will do their best to pull you down? Don't get upset by them, because if you do, you'll be in their boat also. And so Arjuna's tendency to say, oh, and mind you, this is not Arjuna. He's speaking on behalf of you, me, the devotees, those who are trying to find truth. You will see that these faults are in all of us as long as we're working with them and have not yet overcome them. You will express pride. Well, I'm not really proud. I'm proud. I'm just aware. Well, are you pleased with that awareness? There's your problem, not the fact of being aware. A great man, a great master knows he's great, but is he pleased with that? No, he's not. He knows that God is the one who's great. God is the doer. When somebody said to Jesus, "Good man," Jesus answered, "Why call ye me good? There is but one who is good, and that is God." Even our goodness is from him. In fact, we are good to the extent that we have removed one of those koshas, or sheaths, that prevent us from being that way. There are three qualities, and we're going into this more deeply later in the Gita. Three qualities that the mixture of all three is what makes this great delusion. The Maya, the Dvaita, the duality, and then the three gunas, or qualities. The darkening quality is that with people who have such a sheath over their mind that they can't think in terms of intelligence. They're only thinking in terms of pleasure of the body, and this is their definition of happiness: having a good time, getting drunk, going to parties, or whatever oafish pleasures they may involve in. But when that sheath is removed, then there is the Rajasic, Rajaguna it's called. Later in the Gita it says that I am in nature as the smoke is hidden, as the fire is hidden by smoke, as the rust hides the image of a mirror, as a baby is hidden in the womb, as the embryo is hidden in the womb. And he's talking of these three gunas. The first guna is sattva guna, where there's a little smoke over the fire, a little smoke of ego, but a little puff of meditation, and it will be vanished. Then there is the rajaguna, which is active, and you're always wanting to do something, a little bit of hard work, and you can get rid of that rust and see the image of your true self. But with those who are in tamoguna, it takes 9 months for a child to be born, so it takes that length of time, or figuratively that length of time, much, much, much longer, in fact, for a person to come out of that darkness, which thinks only in terms of the body. The goal of getting rid of all these koshas and understanding the infinite is hindered by the ego, which tells you that what you really want is what you're doing right now. Habit, that's why habit sides with the lower side. Whatever you're doing, that's what you should be doing. That's what everybody does. And it's very difficult to convince your mind you shouldn't be what you are. And this is the perfect argument against that thought of overcoming that being what you are that Arjuna presents to us in these stanzas of the Bhagavad Gita. He says, it's who I am. How can I be anything else? I must be sincere to myself. To remember this, to be sincere to yourself, is to be sincere to your higher, not to your lower self. I say this in defiance of every Freudian in the world. They are talking delusion. Krishna is talking truth. Joy to you.